Right, welcome back everybody to Sands of Time. Ninian's dead. Now on only Nurgle's echo laughing remains. On Hector's advice, the group heads towards Ostia. They are weary to the bone, and they need time to regroup. Ostia is the most heavily guarded fortress city in all of Lycia. No enemy should have been able to breach its walls. It'd been nice if you would have used the words should be able to instead of should have. Sands of Time. Lord Hector, we are pleased to see you. I'm alive and well. Where's my brother? He departed yesterday for a conference in Astoria. He's scheduled to return in a half-month's time. Astoria? A pity. Go and prepare rooms for my companions. I need rest. Yes, my lord. My brother's away. Oswin. You know about this? Yes, I was aware of his trip. Why did he choose to go to Astoria now? I don't get it. It's not like him. Greybeard, you know something, don't you? Tell me, where are we supposed to do now? A moment, lad. Yes, I suppose you've the right to know. I first met Nurgle some 500 years ago, wandering the Nabata wasteland. Like me, his only drive was to search for truth in this world. We were equals in power and knowledge, and we became fast friends. We believed we could solve the mysteries of the world. We truly believed. What happened? A disagreement made at the height of our quest. One day, as I charted the mysteries of Nabata, I came across the most amazing village. It was unbelievable, but in that place humans and dragons lived together in cooperation. Dragons and humans? Are you telling me they could live together in peace? First, I doubted what I see with my own eyes showed me. But yes, the village truly did exist. That's amazing. The dragons that I beheld there were both similar and different from the dragons I fought hundreds of years before. Hollywood, are you... Please go on. As you wish. They had refused to fight humans in the war, and instead they retreated to this wasteland. They desired nothing but to remain hidden from the outside. Nurgle and I crafted a barrier and created an oasis for them. Upon their invitation, we lived with them. Our life there was calm and satisfying. At some point, the village became known as Arcadia, a place of perfect peace for travelers gone astray. Arcadia. The dragons' libraries were a dream come true to us. We studied their language and history with unbridled passion. A century, then two, passed in a blink. An eye's blink, and yet slowly our thoughts turned down different paths. In what way? I wanted to share the dragon's wisdom with others. My hope was for our earthly paradise to spread outward. And Nurgle? Nurgle, he took the dragon's knowledge, learned the art of stealing the essence from the living creatures and turning it into power. It was terrible. When we discovered what he was doing, the elders and I tried to persuade him to stop, but the power bewitched him, and he was deaf to our pleas. He started with the small creatures and grew ever more confident. Then he began draining the quintessence of humans. The villagers and I joined forces and defeated him, or so we thought, but after he was banished from Arcadia, Nurgle fled to Bern. He increased his power and slowly to avoid our eye. Using quintessence, he made his puppets the morphs. They're bewitching in form with intellects beyond human. I'm sure you've laid eyes on them yourself. Jet black hair, pale complexion, blood-red lips. Their most striking features are their glittering gold eyes. Yes, we know that. Attack! We're under attack! Oh no! What? Too much plot! Not enough action. Lord Hector, it's bad. An unknown group has breached the castle walls. Did they get in the castle without anyone noticing? They just appeared out of nowhere because the magic teleporting powers. Castle guards were annihilated. Castle is famed and far wide for being impregnable. Didn't breach so easily. How could we can't we save it? Nurgle has magic created an entrance for his thugs within the castle. Blast. That arrogant. No matter what, the throne must be protected. I will not let the castle fall while my brother is away. Hold, Hector, I am going with you. ... Chris, we need you. We need a plan. We can hold them back for a while, well, reinforcements come. Alright. As our current setup, we need to be aware that at any time, characters could technically come from this side of the board. Though very unlikely, there is always the possibility that that happens. In addition, we do want to be able to pick up these treasure chests, all 3 of them. There's a morph sniper down here, level 19. Not a very good sniper though, 18, 18, 14, 22. 22 is kind of a ridiculous resistance though, versus my 18, 19, 28, 11, 18. Pretty cool. You can see I've got my guys set up already for this battle. Let me just gonna quickly check my items here. Working on Hector's axes, bows, lances. I don't think it matters on him anymore. I think he's already S-tiered that. Legault, obviously you're gonna be S-tier that. Canis, you've already done that. Sarah, don't really get to an S-tier light magic in this game, so it doesn't matter. Paladin Kent, you are quickly headed to lances. You're already at lances. You're also at lances. So maybe I should focus down on getting towards the Paladin here. Nino's out, Dart's out, Matthew, Hawkeye, all these guys coming down. I don't need any of them. But I do want Nils. Oh wait, Nils isn't usable in this mission. Because I think he comes in... either comes in mid-mission, or he's not available just for this whole mission. I don't know. Alright, let's check our map one last time. Make sure our formation is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3... Okay, I'll just do that and go. Marwarinish. Wow, why do they have to be so many archers? Oh well, as long as I've been paid, I can't complain. My chance to show you what Farina, the Great Wing, can do. But listen, Chris, if it goes beyond, this goes beyond hazard pay. Yeah, bitch. This is a message from Lord Norgal. I await you on the Dread Isle. Tell all the soldiers, take your post and don't move, hold your position. All we can do is hold on until reinforcements arrive. Hellowood! What? Don't overextend yourself. I am fine, I am not that weak. ... Ian! You're one of Lord Hector's guests, aren't you? You shouldn't be out here, it's too dangerous. Go and hide in that room, do you understand? Oh, Nils. You're not at all available in this mission, nor the next mission, not that that matters, because the next mission is a prep mission. I'm gonna try to use Sarah for what she's designed, well, her secondary purpose, which is to use light magic. Bring down the sisters. So, recently went back and looked at characters I used in the previous Emblem, the Elwood playthrough. I used a lot of everybody and not a lot of anybody. Which kind of limits my Hector hard mode run, because I used both in this run. I used Florina and Fiora, or Farina, and I used Flora. I used the other sister and the other through. I was like, oh no, I don't have any Pegasus Knights. And because I used Lucius in the first one, and Sarah in the second one, I'm not gonna have any access to white magic either. There's only one dark magic user, which is Canis. So by using him, I don't know what to say. I either just fucking shrug my shoulders and go, fucking, I'm using Canis, or you just don't get access to dark magic. There's not an alternative in this game. Conversely, I'm going to be very heavy on anima magic because I use no anima magic users. At least in the last area I didn't. So I'll be using some combination of Pent or Orc or Priscilla, and or I guess I should put it, and or it's not an or thing necessarily. It could be both. I could be using all three of them. Louise is likely going to get used. I've got Guy. If I talked about this in previous episodes, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but basically, I've got an okay team left over of sort of scraps, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with said scraps. Gotta love the long bow. Allows it to hit from 3 spaces, not 2, through the wall. Boy, that sucks. He just silenced Canis, which is like, goodbye, Canis. Nice seeing you in this mission. See you in 6 turns. Bullshit. Here's a question. What do you think of this game? Presumably you're watching this because you like Fire Emblem. I like Fire Emblem. I mean, what do you think of this game in comparison to... We'll just talk about GBA game. I'm not going to talk about any of the other games. What do you think about this game in terms of... in comparison to 6 and 8? I'm not a fan of 8. I'm not a fan of 8 because it gives you the ability to grind. I'm not a fan of that because the game can't assume you're going to grind, and the game can't not assume that either, I guess. I mean, sort of what I'm trying to get at is if you do a non-grind playthrough where you're not fighting any of the little monsters that appear on the screen, you could legitimately end up in a situation where you're forced to prioritize certain units over other units, like in 7 and 6. You know, you can't train everybody because you don't have unlimited experience. 8 gives you the opposite, which is you have unlimited experience. Well, when you get to the end of the game, they're gonna give you the ability to do the whole, I don't know how you want to put it. There's a tower over here to my left, and to my right there's a basement. And you go up the tower and you go down the basement. I don't remember which is the more dangerous of the two. I think the tower... I don't remember. Let's just say I don't remember, okay? I don't remember which one's which. Basically, the only decisions, or the only reason to restart that game, other than you've already played through it once and you're looking for a replay, is because you want to see how certain characters change. example. They give you in this game, in that game, they give you a pre-promote. A pre-promote, I guess you should put it that way. So you get access to a character that can turn into either a warrior, or I can't remember. No. Something like that. I think you can either turn into a warrior or you can turn into a mercenary, and then you go down the path from there. Okay. I'll get to the other thing about 8 that's kind of interesting in a second, but the pre-promotes, you get one that starts with it's like a axe pre-promote. When he hits 10, he can class up into one of the regular classes. And then there's also a knight-esque class, and she promotes either into a cavalier or a knight. And then from the knight, they can become... They added extra classes, is what I'm trying to say, in 8. So a mage... A mage can be either become a sage, or it can become a horse mage. Okay? And there's certain benefits and detriments to each of those things, okay? And some classes are specifically unique to certain middle classes. So, for instance, there is a class called Necromancer that is exclusive to only Dark Mage. So if you're a Dark Mage, you have an option of either going Necromancer or Druid. Whereas if you are a... What do I do? I mean, I'm gonna have to remember how this works. I think if you're a mage, you have an option of becoming either a druid or a sage. And then if you're a... There's some combination in there that I'm not thinking of. Because you have all of your regular classes. You got a troubadour, you've got a mage, you've got either a priestess, or monk class, and those can obviously class up into their regular classes. The bishop, the sage, the druid. But they also have in between classes. Like I think for bishop you can either become a yeah, no, I'm forgetting. I know that the horse unit, the horse riding unit, has the option between becoming a mage knight, which would be a horse-driven offensive class, or to level up into their Valkyria class, which is mage plus healer. But the other one gives you the ability to use, I think, either light or dark magic, plus you stay on a horse. And then for general or a knight, a knight can become either a general or a horse general. Well, the horse general doesn't obviously get the kind of defense that a regular general gets, and the same can be said with the cavalier. Cavalier can either become a paladin, or it can become this horse knight that has. And then they kind of tweaked what weapons those characters can use. So I think the horse general can wield the axe and the lance? I don't remember. But I know they basically changed it up so that knights wield either sword. I think it's sword lance. I have to look it up, I guess. Eventually. But my big criticism with 8 is you grind, and it makes the regular campaign meaningless. And they do give you two different options to start with, because there's a brother-sister duo. You can either start as the rapier-wielding sister, or the lance-wielding, which I think was kind of a nifty idea, lance-wielding brother. Alright, so yeah, your lords are pretty straightforward. They both get horses. You get a recruit. They can become either a cavalier or a knight. And then from there, their classes are, you can either go knight to general, cavalier to paladin, like normal, or you can come back into the center and become a great knight. Now, it looks like what changed is for paladin, they took away the ability to use axes, and for general, they gave them the ability to use all three weapons, including sword. And then the great knight would be sort of what your paladin used to be, which is going to be, I guess, an armored cavalier or armored paladin, and has access to all three of the weapons. And then for the other classes, which I think is kind of nifty, you can, as an archer, you can choose to become either a sniper or a ranger. Now the ranger is sort of like it's the class that Wraith can become. Okay, but there's no pre-promoted Wraith-esque class in 8. And then the same thing with mercenary. Mercenary can become either a ranger, means he gains the ability to use a bow and a horse, or he can become the regular hero. Now your fighter, I'm sorry, there's a journeyman pre-promote that becomes either a fighter or a pirate, so I got confused there. But the journeyman, once he becomes a fighter, has the option of becoming either a hero or a warrior. So you could take that pre-promote class, the journeyman, and turn him eventually into a hero. Or you could go down the regular path of fighter to warrior, or pirate to either warrior or berserker. Okay? And then Myrmidon can become either a swordmaster or an assassin, which is kind of a nifty change, because assassin does not have the ability to, I don't believe it has the ability to unlock anything. And now your thief has the ability to become the assassin like before, or it can get its own upgrade path, which is called rogue, which allows you to use a skill called pick. And pick allows you to pick doors and treasure chest, steal stuff from people without a lockpick. Now, then coming down here, looks like we've got Pegasus Knight and Wyvern Riders. Now, Pegasus Knight can become either a Falcon Knight or what they call a Wyvern Knight. Okay, and then a Wyvern Rider can become either a Wyvern Lord or this middle Wyvern Knight. Now, the Wyvern Lord and the Falcon Knight are much like you expect. Well, I guess they're not exactly what I expected now that I'm looking at it here. The Wyvern Lord wields both swords and lances, unlike in this game where they wield axes instead. But the Wyvern Knight gains a skill called Pierce and can only use lances. All that stuff's sort of nifty to me. I like what they did. I just didn't like the fact that the game didn't make you really make any hard choices, like who's usable, who's not usable. who do I want to give a run with in the off chance that they're actually good, and who do I just want to bench forever, you know? And then the same thing happened with the mage class. You get a pupil that can become either a mage or a shaman, and then from shaman they become either a druid or a summoner, which we'll call a necromancer, and then mages can become either mage knight or sages, and then your priest monk can become either a bishop or a sage.